Hello everyone, welcome back to... yeah, there we go. Sorry, welcome back to Dark Crusade, Imperial Guard hard mode. Again, this is post-commentary. As you can see, lots of damage. So even though we have such a strong defense, I mean, they're able to take stuff out and damage our equipment, and we have to rebuild and repair, and it's, to say the least, it is time consuming. Oh, pardon me. As you can tell, this is actually part 2 of this, and this is where we finish off the Necrons and win this map, which is impressive. This is the making progress that was unable to do so for so many hours. It's just finding the right combination of things for this map that would work against this race, and the same will hold true, you know, for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And that's why it's kind of going slow for the series now. Of the races that I have done, I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe. Excuse me. No, it's a definite. Excuse me. Of the races I've done on hard mode, maybe this is the hardest, simply for the reason that it takes a bit of work for the Imperial Guard to get set up. A bit of work and a bit of time, but if you can get the guard to set up, if you can get them to hold, it becomes possible, doable. Excuse me, nose. So yeah, we're still pegging away over there at something. I don't know what, but we are. Itchy. There we go. How long is this video? Not entirely sure. Oh, just over half an hour. Okay. I'm starting to try and rebuild, repair, you know, get some stuff into place. There's one thing to remember is make sure you have what you want before you finish.
I'll take care of it, Lord.
Because you're going to have to defend. That's very important. We got the firepower to take out all of the tomb spiders, which is nice. There are 3 lords there, but only 2 players. It makes for some very challenging thing when the game allows the computer to, in essence, cheat on restrictions. And I'm going to say cheat, because that seems to be the most appropriate answer. Like, the the units, the Pariah squad that the Necrons have, that is limited to you can only have one squad of Pariahs. It is a hard cap restriction. And lo and behold, I've seen the computer have 2 or 3. Speaking of, look at that. There's a Pariah squad there. So how are you supposed to really deal with stuff like that? 2 Necron Lords dead there. We have another Necron Lord who has turned into the Nightbringer. And they have destroyed a bunch of plasma generators. Buggers. Absolute buggers. Oh, looks like they got rid of a Basilisk too. That's a shame. I was talking to my husband about models I wanted to order. I'm sure I've talked about this before. It's so hard to get rid of those Pariahs. But what I really would like out of the Forge world are the Imperial Guard. Right? I'm pretty sure it starts with a K. They look kind of like World War I type. They have gas masks, and I do believe they have cavalry. You know, so it's actual horses and stuff, and their heavy support doesn't look like, say, the ones in the game here, but more World War I type cannons with the giant wheels and things, but yet they shoot the modern weapon, whether that be a las cannon or heavy machine gun or auto cannon. So yeah, I really would like those because the aesthetic of them is just so freaking cool. I just can't help myself. I would want to paint them. Well, there's a few options that you could do. I could do it maybe what would be considered the traditional colors for that regiment from the planet that they come from. But it almost makes me want to do the colors that were used in the Canadian military for various uniforms, maybe for World War I, do the research. My dad was in the military for a short time. He was a staff sergeant. He was part of the marching band. He used to play bassoon. And I had, I don't know if I still have it, it's a shame if I lost it, but it would be a shoulder strap type bag you would put over, and I think that would carry your gas mask, I think. Oh, sorry, that noise threw me. Anyways, let me just turn that down. It was kind of not a mustard yellow, but kind of like a faded, I guess you could call it a khaki yellow almost, which isn't accurate, but I really don't know how to describe it. It had a very yellowish tinge to it. And, it would be kind of interesting to paint some of the pieces if that turns out something I could do with those models. Anyways, while I do play these games and stuff, I do, while playing, think about stuff like that for the armies that we are slowly putting together. They are expensive, let's be honest. But yeah, it's definitely something that I would like to look into and research. Kind of like the color scheme and stuff like that, that for certain aspects of the Sisters of Battle that I would like to do. There's bloody tomb spiders. I didn't repair it enough or something. Yeah, build another one. We need another one right away. That's the kind of thing that you have to deal with. So much. It's a stasis field. I don't know what else to call it. Obviously, if we don't move on the enemy eventually, we are going to lose through attrition. It will eventually happen. You know, you have the resources, it's bound to happen. They get a lucky hit, you don't pay attention. Yeah. Something that I didn't put down enough of, I feel, is the mines. They are highly effective.
Will only take me a moment.
Now what I end up doing is using the command units. I think I mentioned that in the last video, to act as support for the Baneblade. Part of that has to do with what is it? Brain? You can work anytime. Oh yes, it's the Psychers. There is the ability that a Necron Lord can get that allows them to be invisible themselves and a certain radius around them. Any units become invisible. So really, really powerful for that.
I shall not fail.
It's something you don't want to have hitting your Baneblade. Or anything, really. And Psychers can see the invisible, the turrets can see the invisible. So quite valuable to have those in place. We're still trying to get rid of the pariahs there, or it's a new group. I don't know which, but either way, not good. Oh, there. Okay, I start putting down some mines.
A challenge worthy of my skill.
And that will help us in the future should we be attacked here and we're defending. This will buy us some time, because we know who will be attacking us. They are fast. The reason why we have another unit there is we did have a regular squad. They got killed. So we ended up putting out another heavy support. Replacements. They're still trying to get rid of them.
That is your wish.
They are such a powerful unit, and they have a debuff. It's just nasty.
take me a moment.
Fear ensures loyalty. Where do you need me?
The machine spirits are willing.
Still working on player 1 at this point? I really thought we had taken care of it. I was completely wrong. You know, it's handy to do it this way, just like put the point there so every time they're replaced, they go to the location they need them at.
We will lead by example. I am on it.
We're under fire.
I'm looking to see if they have a base up here. Because usually they do put a base there, but I find they got one there.
I am on it.
And I'm not really seeing the edge of one at all up by the relic, which is different.
It will only take me a moment.
Let me inspire our men.
Doom spiders.
I shall have
I don't know why that's. I think it bugged them
initiating
for
construction.
some reason. Maybe to do with the
Initiating
doom spiders.
construction. Of course.
It happens.
I will ease the machine's
We're under
pace.
fire.
You requested a cycle, my lord.
Constant attrition.
Where's our fire support?
Not entirely sure why it's so easy to take them. Maybe the big gun, some of the big guns are firing at them. Oh, it could be that the assassin is. I mean, after all, the assassin does a ton of damage. Oh, there goes the tactical command again. That's what I mean. It's like you're still having to babysit the base and all that, and you lost 2 basilisks there. That's not good.
Will only take me a moment.
Just having a nice cold drink there.
Cycle, my lord.
Let me inspire our men.
Yeah, it's time to move over to where the base actually is and start blowing it up.
So you need me now. Will only take me a moment. Whatever you want, you requested a cycle, my lord.
Need to get rid of that, of course, because that hurts and causes damage.
I am on it.
We don't like that.
Will ease the machine.
Someone call for an earth shaker.
As you wish, so shall it be done.
Well, that's... Yeah, we got all 3 artillery up again.
A great pain.
We will lead by example.
Will only take me a moment.
This player... it gets a little annoying. Something that it keeps doing. After we destroy that monolith. We should win. But the computer can do this bit where... Oh, you destroyed my main base. I'm going to start building another
As
one.
you wish, so shall it be.
When it should have triggered the game over. Or the battle over option for the map. But it doesn't. For the player,
Initiating
you
construction.
already have to have that base down like that before you lose your last base. But that rule does not apply to the computer. So it's a little frustrating.
Initiating construction.
Nope, can't get any more in there. It's always a struggle for the plasma generators. Okay, we almost have it destroyed, and this is where it happened. Destroyed, but put another one down in the exact same place, which means the animation has to finish of it exploding for the spot to free up in the code to be able to put something there. So it should have triggered the end of the player, but it didn't. That is a little bit of a pet peeve, because then you just have to sit there and you go, okay, come on, just freaking die already. Can you stop building? No, you're gonna put down another one. Okay, fine. I'll just leave my force here to take that out too, and do it until what, you run out of requisition or you let me win or whatever. So obnoxious.
These repairs may require some time.
There we go. Player destroyed. That is a little more, you know, it's great that the player's gone, but it's a little more frustrating that it took so much to do it.
Lead by example.
And now all we have to do is destroy player 2. That should be no problem whatsoever. Actually, in comparison, it is pretty easy. Although we have a lot to fight.
By the Emperor, it will be done. On my soul, it shall be done.
We have a Pariah God, we have a couple of Doom Spiders,
I am on it.
some Wraiths are there, as well as, oh, Flayed Ones. That's it, Flayed Ones. Some of them are just leaving, going back to the base, some of them up there. I'm like, what are you doing, guys? Seriously, why aren't you attacking? Nice shot there from the assassin. Did you get another shot?
Machine spirits are with
I don't know what it was shooting at. Thought I was going to shoot the Pariah there. No, it was not. And we're still dealing with Necron Lord. 2 bodies still. 2 bodies.
Taking hits! I already know what you want. Let me preach his name!
Come on.
No more, my lord.
Sometimes it feels like, okay, you get to a certain point that the AI kind of gives up on its tactics for whatever reason, and you're no longer pushed nowhere near as hard, you know, and just, okay, well, this is really easy in comparison to what you were doing to me like 5 minutes ago. What changed?
Of course.
Nothing.
Let me preach his name!
Absolutely nothing.
We'll make the Emperor
I mean, here we are, we're kind of punching through the forces that really aren't attacking us. Like, yes, I know that we have a Bane Blade there and Necrons, but you're the Necrons, you should be able to. We even have a command unit there, the that destroyer type, can take over a vehicle, if I remember correctly. And I think it can take over a Bane Blade, at least for a short while. So Why isn't it? I don't know. It never seems to do that. Uh-oh, Tech Priest, do not tangle with that Doom Spider. That would be bad for your health. It's a lot of flayed ones there, but with those commanding units, I think we'll do okay. I'm trying to babysit our Tech Priest there so that we have the capability of repairs, don't have to worry about replacing the unit and that sort of stuff, which can always be a pain. Still trying to get rid of that prize, but this takes so long. Like, I know if I had, say, 3 squads of just, you know, regular Imperial Guard with upgraded with 5 grenades per, we could take out the Necrons easier. We had a couple of heavy support with autocannons. Autocannons are pretty good against them. We would be doing better than what this is. There's 4 left or 5 left, and we still have a whole pile of flayed ones. Now their claws, in terms of game terms, are nasty. You can think of them in terms of like fantasy. They're like magically enchanted, that they can just rip through the heaviest of armors, you know, as if it was paper, and that's the idea. So them attacking a Baneblade makes perfect sense. Strange as it sounds, it makes perfect sense for flayed ones to do that. In terms of this game, no, it's highly effective. You get flayed ones on buildings and stuff like that, and they're just ripping through the hits, which is really, really nice. So never discount the flayed ones. And what's nice about them is they can be put inside a monolith and teleported. So it can be used as teleportation shock troops. You get your frontline group to come in, expose the base, and then all of a sudden teleport in, you know, like 4 squads or 5 squads of flayed ones in the middle of the base and just let them wreak havoc. It's quite effective. We finally penetrate through everything they had for defenses.
Down is for the dying. We'll flatten anything standing in our way.
I shall not fail.
And that's what we're after. Monolith.
Whatever you want, we're ready.
I'm waiting on some repairs.
I shall not fail.
We must look after the machine's spirit, after all. And as you can see, I basically have them on their back heel. This is very much
A simple task.
winning point. Like, there's no way to lose at this point. they really don't have an attack force. Okay, they have a bunch of scarabs. Well, what's that going to do, especially when we can take them all out, you know?
Hush, say no more, my lord. A simple task, perhaps.
Making sure that there are no buildings up here. Very important. Again, let's look after those, take care of, look after those scarabs so they can't build anything.
If that is your wish.
We will lead by example.
I am honored that you require my skills.
We're under fire!
They have scarabs. We have a few defensive points placed that we need to take out. Well, need is probably not the right word, but I would like to take out so they're not shooting us from behind and that kind of crap. And look at that damage. Ah, they got it first.
As you wish, so shall it be done.
Yes, upgrade it to missile, because missile.
Initiating construction.
The tomb spider's in the way, so I can't put down a minefield there. Oh, look at that.
They will be waiting at my shadow. Hush, say no more, my lord.
As you wish, so shall it be done.
We are very much getting close to the end now. Obviously. That doesn't mean that we can totally relax. We have them so far hard onto the ropes and stuff that they can't win, but they can cause setbacks, and that's the last thing we want to deal with, are setbacks to slow us down. Because that's no good.
You requested a psycho, my lord.
So I think what I'll do here, let's see, it ends at 34. We don't even get to see the final explosion. So why don't I just wrap up here? You can watch the end of this, and we do get the map, which means we get the new elite, which is the assassin. Very, very nice starter map with that. Very powerful unit. So I do hope you enjoyed this video and this two-parter, because we actually made progress. I do apologize for doing the post commentary. Really, really not a fan of that, but it is, I think, the only realistic way at this point. Ah, there we go. And if you are new to the channel, you can do the whole subscribing thing, bell notification, and all of that stuff. Also a couple of links in description down below should you wish to check those out. But until next we meet, please do be safe, everyone. Bye.